Is now in our studio in Washington to discuss German Chancellor's visit to the U.S. is Ansgar Graw. He's a senior political correspondent for the German newspaper Die Welt. Thank you for being on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Based on what we saw in that news conference today, do you believe Germany and the United States are on the same page as far as how to deal with the crisis in Ukraine and Russian leader Vladimir Putin?
I think they at least are acting from the same principles. They try to persuade Putin to stop his aggressions in the Ukraine and to stop supporting the separatists in eastern Ukraine and sending weapons to them. On this point, they agree. The difference is, I think, in the United States, there started a debate whether to arm the Ukrainian army with at least defensive lethal weapons. And Angela Merkel, the German chancellor, is opposing this step. And even Obama is only considering it. I think he has not made any decision.
Do you believe that would be a grave mistake? If you arm the separatist rebels with lethal weapons from the United States, Putin theoretically will arm his folks and send more weapons to the separatists. So then you could have a full-blown war, and I meant to say to Kiev, not to the separatists as far as the U.S. weapons go. So then you could have a full-blown war. Is that really a good solution, arming Ukraine with lethal weapons?
I think the big problem is there is no blueprint for a peaceful solution right now. The Americans, the Congress, the senators say we tried for a very long time to persuade Putin to negotiate, to use diplomatic means and methods. It didn't work. We tried sanctions. It didn't work. Now let's step up a little bit and send not offensive weapons, but at least lethal weapons. And maybe in the end it could be an advantage for the West that Angela Merkel and Barack Obama would perform kind of a bad cop, good cop play. Merkel would be the good cop. She would continue with the European allies to negotiate with Putin and with the Russians. And Obama, if he decides to deliver, and I think there's a big if he should decide to deliver lethal weapons, he would be the bad cop. But combined, maybe it would make any efforts and any success. Up to now, the problem is we don't see any success, not on the diplomatic side, not on the sanction side.
So what is the solution here? There are another round of talks in Minsk on Wednesday. If the previous ceasefire fell apart, what makes us believe this one is going to work? And we really haven't heard much details about this plan. Does it entail anything new? Why would Putin go for it? Why would Kiev go for it? I mean, it seems like nothing has worked so far.
That's exactly the question which is asked in the White House very often. I spoke with some White House officials over the last few days, and they are asking me, what is Germany, what is Europe expecting? Why another round of negotiations? I think in the end, they agree it's good to try to give it another shot, but there is no guarantee. As I said, there is no blueprint for a real solution, and therefore these negotiations could fail, and then Obama said, then we have to put other options on the table and to decide whether we have to take other steps.
Ansgar, what do you think is the goal of Russian President Vladimir Putin? What does he want? What is his objective?
I think he tries to create at least a failed state, Ukraine as a failed state, that will not be able to join the European Union, for example. I don't think that this is a good goal for him, because in the end, a failed state at your borders isn't very helpful for your own country. And therefore, I think in the end, it would be better even for Putin and at least for Russia as a whole to try to find a way to have a kind of partnership with the West, as it has been only 4 or 5 years ago. There was this idea of reset of the relations between Washington and Moscow, and I think they should give it another try.
So very quickly, do you believe a diplomatic solution is still possible?
It is still possible, but maybe you have to deliver lethal weapons to the Ukrainian army before a diplomatic solution could take place.
All right, thank you so much. Ansgar Graw, we appreciate your time, sir.